Hey,
Good morning,
everybody.
everyone. Welcome to Wake Up Missoula. My name is Noelle McAvoy.
Well, I'm getting some serious vertigo. I think I just made a mistake with the camera too, but I'll fix that a little bit later. Anyways, welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I am your host, Scott Ramp, and right next to me is...
I'm Noelle McAvoy.
Oh, yeah. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Oh, anyways, we have a great show for you. We have Kayja Booker.
Yes, we do. Here to talk about the school bond.
Kayja Booker.
Yeah, Kayja Booker.
Yes.
So on Mondays, we're going to be talking about the school bond up until it's time to vote. So you guys can know exactly what is going on.
Yes.
It's very important.
So we'll have her on after we show you new programming this morning. But first, we got to talk about social networking. So you can find out more information about Wake Up Missoula by logging on to wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. You can get in contact with us. You can watch past videos. You could also like us on our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter.
Yep. You can like Missoula Community Access Television on Twitter, as well as MCAT on Facebook. And to find out more information about MCAT, just go to mcat.org.
Yes, and if you, for all your homecoming parade needs, you can click on the link that sends you directly to highlights or watch the whole entire homecoming parade from 2 Saturdays ago. I think it's quite nice. And of course, I do need to talk more about our video on demand page, and it's very nice and fancy. So if you click on either 189 or 190, it takes you to our public or our civic channel.
Nice.
And basically, you can find out any programming that's coming up or from the past. All you gotta do is type in the search engine and you can find any video from MCAT's digital database.
Oh, wow.
It's just wonderful.
So that means we have 25 years.
Not necessarily. I think it's
back?
I think it's just like all current stuff from the most recent stuff.
Okay. But if you do want to watch things that happened 25 years ago, just come in.
Yeah. I just think it's going to be very time-consuming if Lori decides to like plug in the hard drive and start uploading everything that's on our drives. But I think this is a good way to streamline just our content and then putting all the I guess the clickbait videos.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. We just who here has also suffered from clickbait all the time? It's always like, oh, this looks cool, and it's wrong. And you don't even see that picture. They use like a thumbnail picture on that YouTube video. You never see it.
No,
like
never see it.
Oh, let's see some shark attacks, and there's this awesome selfie of this guy taking with a shark, almost like about to eat him. Yeah. You never see that.
No, it's not even the same video.
And the video says like closest shark attack, and then it shows like a fin in the distant ocean.
That's what they do
and then you
to
hear
get
people scream. They get
Yeah.
Clickbait. Watch out for clickbait.
Yeah.
Except for us, because our show is pretty
great.
Awesome. Anyways,
really great.
We have some weather. So
yes, we do.
And of course, there is a freezing advisory warning happening until 9. So by the end of this show, you'll be cool.
Wow, good thing that I brought my plans in.
So anyways, you can expect highs today to be in 65. Your low is 34. But then for the next couple weeks or so, you can expect the weather to start cooling down, but stay within 40 and 60 degree temperatures throughout this next coming week. So
it'll fluctuate quite a bit.
It's only, but they're going to stay within a 20 degree gap of one another. So you don't expect any major changes in weather, just subtle changes up until the end of October, beginning November. You can expect things to really start changing, but I think it's mostly between the 30s and 50s at that point. But.
Yes. But things are starting to freeze, it looks like, overnight, night, so bring your plants in and make sure that those don't go away too soon. I gotta bring the rest of mine in. Yeah. But we've got a couple of videos for you guys.
We have, of course, it's Monday, and every Monday night we have new Missoula City Band on our channel, on channel 189, so you can check that out. Also, we have the Fringe Fest. It's called Fish and Beauregard.
Oh, cute.
So here is a taste of what's new tonight, and when we come back, we're going to have Kayja Booker from Ford, Montana, talking about the Yes for Missoula Schools.
Yep.
Okay, we'll be right back after this.
How far is the lake?
If I tell you, will you leave?
Yes.
It's about 20 miles.
That way?
That way. What?
Your butt is really soggy.
It is not.
It is too! Beauregard's a soggy butt. Beauregard's a
Stop it.
soggy butt.
Stop it.
Beauregard's a soggy
It
butt.
is not.
Beauregard's a soggy
Stop
butt.
it.
Beauregard's
Stop
a
it.
soggy
Stop
butt.
it. Stop it.
Beauregard's a
I am
soggy butt.
deadly serious. I am deadly serious.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're so weird.
Hey, we're back here with Kayja from Ford, Montana. Please, you're here to talk to us about the school bond that's happening. We're going to have you guys on for Mondays leading up until the election in November. But of course, people are getting their ballots. I think it's like at a week from now, right?
Yeah.
So please tell us about this. Tell us what your involvement with this bond is.
Great. So I'm the executive director at Forward Montana, and we're a group to train, mobilize, and elect the next generation of leaders. So we do a lot to get young people involved in politics. So what we're doing at Forward Montana is helping high school students and recent graduates of the public school system advocate for these bonds, advocate for their own fully funded public education. And these are students that know what it's like to go to school here. They know about the slow internet. They know what it's like to have to wear coats in the winter in the class or to be extremely hot because one of the boilers is overacting. They know exactly why we need these bonds. And so we're working to get them out talking to the voters of Missoula to be able to really articulate why we need these bonds and to have that empowering experience of advocating for their own education.
Oh, that's like the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
Use the youth. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And so how are they doing that? Are they like going out in packs and talking to people, or are they just like going door to door? How's that happening?
Yeah, so for example, yesterday we had a street canvas called Bond, School Bond, Bond-themed Bond
Nice,
Knock.
nice.
And so we had about 20 people, a bunch of them teenagers or early 20-somethings that were just going exactly like you said, door to door, knocking on people's doors and saying, hey, I just graduated from Hellgate High School, and let me tell you a little bit about what it's like to go to school there and why these bonds are so necessary.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And it's good that you're using some of the students who went to these schools who have lived with this, like who have to wear the coats during the winter and all that stuff. But one of my questions is, I'm assuming that there's a lot of people asking this question. Why don't we just put the money into replacing the spoiler at Hellgate High School and just do the major stuff rather than just do like an overhaul?
Yeah. Well, there's so many different needs, and this one's going to be hitting like major infrastructure things that we haven't addressed for a really long time, major technology investments like the internet, which is incredibly slow, like dial-up speeds at a bunch of the schools, as well as overcrowding and safety concerns. And I think the district felt like coming back to voters again and again and saying, hey, you just gave us a little bit of money for this thing last year, but now we need a little bit more for this other thing, was less efficient. And this way they can do one big planning process, one big building, design, everything process, so that we're getting it all taken care of in a single chunk, rather than trying to do it piece by piece and not knowing if each piece was going to pass, or maybe getting into the situation where you were going to have to redo something that you had already done. So this way I think is more efficient. It's a good big picture planning process that they went through to get us to this point.
So would you
Great.
say that this is better than doing a bunch of short-term solutions over the course of, like, let's say 20 years, and then just doing this all within like 5-year span?
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to try to take care of all of these major issues in a single blow, and really get our schools up to the standards where they should be for students to have a 21st century education.
And then so over how many years is this bond expected to?
They're 20-year bonds,
20 years.
but they're hoping to get most of the construction done within, I think, the first 6 years.
Great.
And what is the additional a year's going to be geared towards? Like, once all the construction is done, is there going to be a chance for this bond to maybe even be like, okay, we don't need the money anymore, or something like that?
I mean, I think theoretically things could come in under cost, and I'm not an expert on that side of things, so I don't know exactly how that works. But really, it's like you try to do a lot of the work up front, but then you're still paying that off for, you know, over the course of 20 years, so that it's a lower tax burden every single year.
Yeah. Okay, so so for some of the people who don't already know, what is this bond for?
So it is for all of the elementary, middle, and high schools in Missoula County Public School System. And that's part of what's so special about it, is it is a comprehensive bond that covers every single school. So every school in the district is going to get some kind of improvement. Almost all of them are going to get some sort of major infrastructure improvement and some major technology improvement. A lot of them are going to get reconfigured, for security reasons, reconfigured layouts, so that, like right now, for instance, at Hellgate, people can come in a bunch of different doors without ever going to the front office. So like reconfiguring that so that when you come in, you see the front office, somebody's there checking you in, making sure you should be at school.
Right, because there's been some scenarios where where I do after-school programs. I walk into the school, and sometimes it's like, okay, I have to walk quite a distance to get to the front desk, or that kind of thing. And they've totally adjusted a lot of them. They make like makeshift like desks for the front door, and they've been MCPS has been really good about locking pretty much every single door, making it somewhat difficult for me to get into school and be like, all right, let's...
Well, it also makes it easier for like the kids to not leave school whenever they want to.
Right,
Because
right.
I mean...
Somebody's, keeping an eye on the door.
Yeah, so they're staying in school. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But of course, my next question is, with an ever-growing population that is Missoula, what is some of the relief to this bond in terms of money that people could expect? Because you know, you have all these new neighborhoods that are popping up, all these new kids that are coming into schools, and then like with more houses being built, there's like more like it spreads out the tax base. So what would you say in terms of like, you know, relief in terms of that in the future?
Yeah, well, so first of all, I should say the growing population is part of the reason for the bonds too, that a lot of the schools are already over capacity. They have those mobile trailer units outside where kids are having to go to class. And so we think the property tax burden of this whole thing is going to be about $16 a month on a $200,000 house. I don't know exactly how that works when new homes when a home is purchased, you carry that tax burden with you. I'm not sure exactly how it works with new construction. I assume those people are also on the hook for this, as they should be, because it benefits our entire community.
Right.
And is part of the reason that people are moving here is because they trust our school system.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. So where can people find more information?
Yes, for MissoulaSchools.com is a great place. MCPS also has information about what's going to happen to every single school on their website.
Right.
And
So
Missoulians-
mcpsmt.org, and they have like 5 or 6 different links to this website and more information. You can find out everything. Even they have like the whole, I guess the bond language. It's already released for everyone to see. So if you want to look at it and see where the money's going to, there it is.
Exactly. And the Missoulian is now running a series about the bond. So they started on Sunday. There's a whole layout, and you can find it online too, that also lays out like every single school, and then they'll be covering, I believe, every day a couple different schools, so people can read more in depth about their neighborhood school or schools that they're interested in to find out exactly what this looks like on the ground.
Great, that's awesome. It's a nice community involvement and a good push for it. Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to tell us before we let you go?
I don't think so, except that if people want to get out there and talk to their neighbors about voting for the bond, you should check out Forward Montana. We'll be out knocking doors the rest of this fall, and would love to have more volunteers talking to their neighbors about why these bonds are so important.
Great.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So much.
So that was Kayja Booker from Forward, Montana. And if you see her pink bunnies running around, be nice.
Be nice. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll be right back with Noelle and events.
Great, thanks.
Your smartphone can help you find a bar, alert your friends that you're in the bar, update you on your team while you're at the bar, and now, let you know you need a ride home from the bar. That is smart. Download blood alcohol calculators for your phone at plantolive.mt.gov.
I'm Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
For the last 30 years, the Montana Hope Project has been granting wishes to Montana children who face life-threatening illnesses.
I'm Montana Hope.
To make a donation and help their wishes come true, please visit montanahope.org.
We are Montana Hope.
Hey,
Hello.
we're back here.
We
and
are back.
Noelle,
Yes,
you're talking about what's going on in the city of Missoula, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's Monday. I'm not very enthusiastic today. Sorry, everyone.
Well, it's Monday. I like
It
Mondays
is.
because it's reminds me of what's to come. Because it's like beginning of a work week, beginning of new stuff happening, but then by Wednesday it's like, oh crap, here we go again.
Yeah. It's true, yeah. Mondays are good because they're a good start.
Yeah.
But also that's why they aren't as good, is because it's a start to your work week.
Yeah.
I'm sleepy. Yeah. But okay, so family fun time is over at Mismo Gymnastics starting at 9:30 a.m. This is an open gym for ages walking to 12 years of age, and they just have like trampoline and foam pits and all those bars you can swing off of. It's a great
Nice.
time. Yeah. And then over at the Missoula Art Museum, starting at 10 a.m. this morning, is a artist talk called Good Wood, cut from the MAM's permanent collection. So in the Travel Montana lobby, it started in September 25th, but today is like the presentation. Each work displays originality and craftsmanship of each woodworking artist that is featured there. And they also establish a dialogue with the viewer that can be experienced in the round.
And it's gonna be there for a while.
Yeah.
March.
Till March, yeah. So it's got several different artists, and they're like not presentation, more of like a experience with wood, and they're like how they feel comes out into the wood. I don't know how to explain it.
Highlights of wood art.
Yeah, or just like kind of like their like feeling about wood comes out to their artwork.
Cool.
You'll see. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And so preschool play group starts at 11 at Bitterroot Gymnastics. This is for ages walking to 5 years. It's $8 a drop-in or $12 for siblings. And so they set up different activities and stations around the gym, and the parents and children get to rotate and choose what they want to do. Over at Montgomery Distillery, they've got their Moscow Monday. So $1 from each cocktail sold goes to the different nonprofit in the area. Yeah. The Bridge group is over at the Senior Center at 1 p.m. This is the Beginner's Brush Up group, and it's a $1.25 fee per person. And then over at the Missoula Public Library, they have their open time in their makerspace starting at 1:30, and so you can like learn about their makerspace and learn how to use the equipment or work on a project of your choice. And they say it's from 1 to 3, and then right after that they have electronics exploration, which is basically the same thing until 7. So pretty much from 1:30 till 7, you can go into the makerspace and work on a ton of different cool electronic things, and you can get tours and tell you how to use stuff, and you work on projects of your own. Yeah, pretty sweet. And then starting at 5 p.m. this evening, over at the University of Montana in the Todd Building Room 203, it's called China Town Hall. So this is a live webcast from the National Committee on U.S.-China's Relation. It's their 9th annual Chinatown Hall Local Connections Natural Reflections. So, former Treasury Secretary Robert Rubin is going to lead an expert panel in a live town hall meeting that is broadcast to audiences in more than 70 locations nationwide on what China's investments in the United States mean for American workers, communities, and the economy.
Sounds good.
It sounds really interesting. Panelists will also answer audience questions from locations around the nation. And they're gonna have a bunch of different speakers there, and it starts at 5. Yeah, and I didn't see that it costs anything. So if you're really concerned or curious about what stake China has in the United States, I highly suggest you check that out. I bet it's gonna be really, really interesting. And then over at the Top Hat Lounge, they've got their Raising the Dead, the live recorded shows of the Grateful Dead from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Starts at 5. And then over at Plonk is the Service Industry Night at 6 p.m. This is where if you work in the service industry, you can ask them for a menu.
Yep.
And then you get cool deals. Yeah, pretty much. It starts at 6. And then my morning jacket will be playing the Wilma Theater tonight because they are having their grand reopening. But it's sold out, so don't get your hopes up. It starts at 8. You can just go outside and look at it, though.
Have you? Oh, did you? They had an open house last Friday.
Did you go to it?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was pretty nice.
Is it beautiful in there?
It's people are saying it's smaller. They get a smaller feel to it.
Really?
I think it's like they totally raised the roof.
Oh.
Or well, and then it's like it's darker colors. So that's why it kind of feels like it's closed off a little more. And of course, typical owners of the Top Hat, they replace the whole entire floor with wood. It's like all wood flooring.
Oh.
It's like dark wood flooring, kind of like what they have at the Top Hat. And like you walk in through the doors, it's like, oh, that's interesting. And they tore down that wall. They tore down a wall, like, with all those doors that are lined up right there, and then past the doors they have like a open wall. I should have just like taken a video or a picture, then I would have showed it on the show and be like, here's the new Top Hat sponsored the Wilma.
Intriguing everyone because it makes me want to just like go in there and look.
Yeah, I mean, and one of my critiques of it is like the stairs are very confusing because especially in the main floor, it's like you go long, short, long, short, long, short, long, like stair length. It's very confusing and it's really dark, so you might trip or whatever. Yeah. And even the sound booth is like, you know how like always raise the sound booth and put it out of the way? It's totally in the way. It's like right in the middle of people potentially spilling drinks on it and all that stuff. So there's not much. But yeah, that's about my critique of the. So the wood floor and the sound booth. They raised up the stage too. Oh really? Yep. So the wood floor and the sound booth are definitely getting drinks spilled on it. Yeah, they have removable seats for the front. So the front area, like the main floor, is just like completely open and clear if they want to. But then of course upstairs they have they replaced those old velvety chairs that made the Wilma. Did they? I love those chairs. Yeah, but they got rid of them and they have new velvety soft chairs. Oh, good. Yeah, but nice. Well, I'm very curious as to see how long that sound booth lasts. Then. But look, good luck getting in there for anything less than $15, people. Yeah, for real. For real, seriously. They might do a couple free shows, but for the first 3-4 months, it's gonna be expensive. Yeah. Okay, so. But if you don't want to go over to the Wilma because you don't like it and it's sold out, you can go over to S at the Real Lounge. General admission, it's 18 and up, so you can party with some 18-year-olds. It's $6 in advance, $8 a day of show, and it starts at 9 p.m. Woo! Okay, and then over at Stage 112, they've got also a band, also for 18 and up, so all those 18-year-olds can party on a Monday. So it's $3 advance, $5 a day of show. Remrock, Billy Woods, Curly Castro, and DJ Mo Nichols. What? Yeah, so that's what's going on for your Monday. We're going to switch gears now and go over to Asaph's segment. Maybe? Yeah?
I once did some stories on people who had either injuries or illnesses, and they would play a musical instrument and get well, like Pete Fountain and Myron Florin. And the person we're going to talk about today experienced something similar to that. And of course, we're talking about Louis Feinberg, known to the world as Larry Finney of the Three Stooges. Larry Finney was an American comedian, actor, violinist, and a boxer, but he'll be best remembered for his comedy team of the Three Stooges. Finney was born into a Jewish family, as Louis Feinberg, as I had mentioned. His father, Joseph Feinberg, was a Russian Jewish person. And his mother, Fanny Lieberman, also. They both owned a watch repair and jewelry shop. And so in childhood, there was some acid on a table, that they used for checking to see if gold is real with making watches that Larry's parents had. And Larry picked up the drink thinking it was a beverage. And his father happened to catch it right on time and knock the drink out of his hand, which burned his arm. Oh my gosh. So to strengthen his muscles, he took violin lessons and he went on to become quite proficient with the violin, and he used it throughout his career playing the violin on the Three Stooges. Wow. Anyway, his career started really early in vaudeville, like all the other Stooges, and in 1925 he and Mo Howard met in real life, along with Ted Healy, the creator that I talked about Friday of the Stooges, and they went on to do some great things over the years. And this group, beginning in 1932, did 206 short films total. Wow. Throughout their career. And if you have that little clip, we can show this one scene here.
I don't see him anywhere. Maybe he's disguised. I'll bet that's him. Take it off. What is that, a Cocker Spaniel? No, I think it's just a Spaniel. That's not him.
Now, this is a clip where, a very rare clip where you see all four of the Stooges together. That's very rare, because usually the main Stooges are Moe, Larry, and Curly, and the guy on the far right, that was Shemp Howard, who went on to make movies when he left the Stooges, and he did a movie with Harry James and the Andrews sisters called Private Buckaroo, where he played this drill sergeant, and he did his comedy antics in that film, just like the Three Stooges. But getting back to Larry Feeney, he was often probably the most abused by Moe of the Stooges, because see, his trademark was the bald head on the top with the curly hair on the sides and the back, and so Larry would often pull the hair off it, off of him, or slap him upside the head and call him Porcupine. So
that's terrible.
Well, I know, but that was slapstick comedy, and that was the comedy of that era. And of course, as the years went by, television changed. That kind of comedy wore thin. But they got a resurgence in 1959 with Columbia Pictures when they re-released these trios films. And of course, the Three Stooges, they'll always be remembered mostly in their prime, in their heyday with Moe, Larry, and Curly. Of course, they had Curly Joe later on and Shemp Howard, but in their prime, in their heyday, was Moe, Larry, and Curly.
Nice.
So I'll stop on that note right there.
Great. Thanks, Asaph.
Yeah, thanks.
That was Musical Notes with Asaph Adonai. And up next, we've got a little video for you guys. Scott was able to shoot the rattlesnake art installation.
Yes. They're talking about the Rattlesnake Ripple. That was a mural with tiles that was just installed at the Pineview Park. But without further ado, here's the video that I made. I shortened it, but the video that we played on MCAT was about 15 minutes long. This is only about like 3. So we'll be right back after this video with more events from Noelle concerning Tuesday. What to do with your Tuesday? Huh.
It's my privilege to welcome you here today as we dedicate Allison Rencha's very moving ceramic mural, Rattlesnake Ripple. Following the passage of a bond measure to refurbish Pineview Park, the park's facelift was completed in 2010. After that, the Public Art Committee put out a statewide art call. In the end, it was a local Missoula artist who captured the look and feel that we wanted for our public art.
Lovely. So this is a park that is completely homegrown. So we have Bill Beavis minding the cookies so that I don't get too close for all sorts of reasons, but it's a number of years ago that Bill, in his kindly, tenacious way, began agitating for improvements here at Pineview. And that agitation, and I use that in the kindest possible way, led to additional work on the part of neighbors to work with the city to figure out a way to put some dough together through a special improvement district to redo this park. And what you see is the result today. Our Parks and Recreation Department, with the help of citizens of the Rattlesnake Valley, the City Council, and lots of others, improved this park that has been a neighborhood treasure for a long time.
Of the people we contacted, 85% voted to tax themselves for an SID district to redo the park. Denny Washington had paved the tennis courts, so my daughter and her friends would stop climbing over his fences at night to play. So this really is, when you consider how young Missoula is and the West in general, this is about 140 years of continuous community involvement in the improvements of this park. And all of that time, of course, a river ran through it right in back of us, and that's why we were so pleased when Allison came in with this concept for the park.
One of the conversations that stands out to me the most was with a teenager who was here for a family reunion over in the gazebo over there, and he was from Wisconsin. And he came up and he was asking me all sorts of questions, and he said, "Do you mind if I videotape you while you're hanging the tile, installing the tile?" And I said, "No." And he said, you know, coming from Wisconsin, all of our art is Paul Bunyan or something about logging. And he was really curious and interested in the idea of more abstract art. And he said, I wish my town had more art like this.
Right.
And I just think that really speaks to us as a community here in Missoula, that we're supporting art, we're supporting one another. So thank you all so much. Thank you.
That was nice.
That was just beautiful. Scott, did you get to eat a cookie?
Of course.
Good.
Yes.
Nice. That was great, yeah. Cool. Well, check that out, you guys. Pine Street Park. Where was that again, Scott? Where's
Pineview.
Excuse me.
It's off of Rattlesnake Drive. And it's like
Pineview
right behind Rattlesnake Elementary School.
Right behind.
Right behind, yep. It's quite nice. It's a really nice park. And
yeah, it looks like it. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Cool. And so that's just like in the middle of the park, or is that like off to the side? Or?
It's it's a huge park. Huge.
And so
enormous.
where's our installation?
Our installation is
park?
where it looks like it was put on the wall next to the bathroom. I'm done.
Way. Okay, so this is everything that's going on tomorrow, you guys. So tomorrow, starting at 8 a.m. for 3 days, is the 9th annual Montana Crime Prevention Conference over at the university. So this is hosted by the Montana Board of Crime Control. It'll include presentations on many areas related to crime prevention. Yep. And it was so funny because I tried to look up like where they were having this, and I think that they're so paranoid about crime they didn't even give the address.
Yes.
So hopefully you can find it, maybe.
Yeah. You don't want the Missoula mob to get all about that.
No, they don't.
You know.
Yeah.
And it takes 3 days, and after those 3 days, no crime will ever happen in Missoula ever again.
Never. That's why they don't even give the address.
Yep.
It's because it's that high tech.
It's serious.
It's really serious.
It's CSI.
Okay, so over at the Missoula Public Library at 10:30 tomorrow morning, they have Tiny Tales. This is for babies ages birth through 3 years, and they sing songs and learn nursery rhymes and finger plays and stories and stuff like that. And then over at the Montana Distillery, they've got their Mule-tastic Tuesdays. So $1 from each cocktail sold that goes to nonprofit in the area from 12 to 8. And then over in Frenchtown, they've got their Lego Club starting at 4 p.m. So that's from 4 to 6, and it's put on by the Missoula Public Library.
At Frenchtown Branch Library.
At the Frenchtown Branch Library, put on by the Missoula Public Library.
Because the Missoula Public Library's Lego Club's on Wednesdays.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's different.
Yeah. Over at Draftworks Brewing Company, Shred Fest Pint Night. So 50 cents from each beer sold goes to benefit the Montana Skate Park Association and for Shred Fest. Yeah.
Isn't the Shred Fest coming up pretty soon?
I heard it was over the weekend. I'm pretty sure it was over the weekend.
Oh.
I know.
No, that was Zoo Fest.
Oh, was it? Okay,
I mean, because the Shred Fest is happening another time, so they can bring a whole bunch of snow in and then do
that. I bet that's happening. I bet that's happening in a couple of weeks.
Or even next week, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see.
And then over at the Public Library is Improv Anonymous. So they practice short-form improvisational comedy on the first Tuesday of every month from 5:30 to 6:30 in the Missoula Public Library Large Meeting Room.
Wow, John Howard must be busy.
And then over at Imagination Brewing Company, it's got traditional Irish music with the Crashers starting at 6. The Picking Circle is at the Top Hat Lounge starting at 6 p.m. This is in front of the sound booth in the raised seating area, and it's for bluegrass-oriented musicians.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then over the Public Library, we've got our official Gamers Club for ages 19 and under. So all the games that you could ever want and imagine, they'll be right there. And then we've got our African dance class over at the Senior Center starting at 7 p.m. $10 per class, $35 for 4 weeks. You can drop in anytime, starts at 7. And then over at the Top Hat, they've got their square dance classes. So these are usually the first Tuesday of every month. They're free and open to the public. And so all dances are taught and you'll learn as you go. You can either bring a partner or find one on the dance floor. It starts at 8 p.m.
Because otherwise when they say swing your partner it would be awkward if you don't have a partner.
Swing your partner.
What partner is like, you're sad.
Partner.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You're going to have
Ma'am, you're going to have to get off the dance floor. You look very lonely and sad. It's just ruining the vibes. You're just eating a cake.
No,
I just want to dance.
Top it has like fancy hummus. Dips
Yeah,
and
fancy
stuff.
hummus.
Yeah, and panini stuff. A lot of fry bread stuff.
Paninis. Okay, so after square dancing, you can go over to the Missoula Music Showcase at the Badlander starting at 9. And it's, it just features local singers and songwriters each week. Music starts at 9, no cover. And my last event is, so the Neighborhood Project Fund's large grant applications are due tomorrow at 11:30.
Nice.
It's in the Office of Neighborhoods, which I didn't know there was an Office of Neighborhoods.
It's probably at tomorrow at 11:30 a.m., not p.m.
Yes, it is.
It's like a late night neighborhood project.
I know.
Or maybe it is p.m. because you can send the application online.
Yeah.
So I'll stop talking.
Yeah, I know. They can't even see you. It's on me anyway. Okay, yeah, so the neighborhood grants can be used for various projects that will enhance the quality of life in our community. Grants are made available through Missoula City Council with awards up to $3,000. So if you feel like your neighborhood needs some funding and you need a grant, tomorrow is the deadline at 11:30 to put your application in. Yeah, so that's what's going on for your events. Check out MissoulaEvents.net. Check out The Independent, the newspaper, the University of Montana website.
Yes, but as you may already know, it is Flagship has started.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to do that because it's the way I can steal youth from young without it.
Yeah, steal the youth energy.
Steal the youth energy. So
Yeah.
I'm all...
That's why he looks so young. Scott's
so
actually
young.
like 45.
I'm like 45.
Yeah, but he has no wrinkles or anything because of all the youth energy for
all the
Flagship.
youth energy. Yeah, but you'd think it would wear you out.
But it doesn't.
But it doesn't. But we have, it's going to be, all the Fridays are going to be devoted to Flagship Fridays. Last Friday I kind of put something together. It was like it was just some slow motion stuff.
Nice.
It sounded like a nightmare because I didn't cut out the sound of the kids like yelling and screaming. And it's like,
oh, it's so scary. Was it really scary?
It was pretty freaky. But I added some music in the background too, so it was freaky, awesome music.
Oh, good. Yes, and starting on Saturdays, the 17th, Scott and I are putting together a drop-in stop-motion animation camp.
For $10.
Yeah, for $10 from 1 to 5 every Saturday starting the 17th. So if you've got a kid or if you know of a kid that maybe wants to hang out with us and make some videos, come by. It'll be really fun.
Of course, it's always weird. It's like, do you know a kid? It's just like,
I know. I'm like,
it's like, who knows kids?
I know. That's how I feel too. Be like, you know any kids? I'm like, no, no.
Well, you can just get your friend Abby because she teaches at Meadow Hill. Just get some of their kids. And just
yes, I can. I'm going to. I'm going to go in there and talk to some of the kids about it because I've been in there twice already.
Really? Oh.
They love me over there. I'm like a celebrity guest.
You're like a celebrity guest.
In Spanish class.
Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish at all. It's so funny.
But yeah, I just wanted to say a couple things that are happening tonight and tomorrow night, and it's has to do with your city growth policy. And of course, tonight is the city council meeting at 7 p.m. They'll be talking about all sorts of stuff that is happening in the city of Missoula. Tomorrow night is the more important meeting in terms of growth policy because our Missoula is going to be talking about their growth policy during planning board tomorrow at 7 p.m. Go there. You get to hear their final presentation on what they're going to do with Missoula's growth policy, and what they're concentrating on is growth inward.
Yes.
So rather than expanding out with with all these residents and everything just building out, they want to expand in by utilizing the assets that Missoula has in the city.
And that's such a good idea. I think it makes more sense to work on your infrastructure, make everything in your community so much better, and then expand out.
Yep.
Yeah. So the inward growth I think is the best thing for Missoula. And so we're a small community, so you got to start in rather than out.
But of course, if you want to learn more about your community, you can log on to www.ci.missoula.mt.us. It's as simple as doing the city, Missoula, Montana, US, or you can type in City of Missoula on the Google to find out more about that. And of course, upcoming community events. There's the city growth policy that's happening tomorrow night. There's 3rd Street reconstruction near completion, which I would say is totally completed, but they had to get rid of some of the equipment, some of the orange traffic cone stuff, but it's pretty much done. Like, I've driven by there so many times, it's like, this is nice. Yeah, once it's done, it's nice. And it's like, I was expecting this never to get done.
This is Scott driving. Whoa, look at that road.
Yes, but of course, and here's another big thing is that Missoula County is under rabies quarantine.
Oh, good.
A veterinarian has picked up the phone and says, we must put Missoula County under a 60-day rabies quarantine because of the rabies-infected skunk that infected those 20-plus feral cats that they had to put down.
Oh, no.
And who knows how much that spread. So it's just like one rabid skunk got to another, and it just spreads out.
Just spread, yeah. So be very careful, you guys. 60 days quarantine, that's 2 months. So definitely be careful. What's so great about winter, though, is that, I mean, actually, I don't know if...
They go into hibernation,
Yeah.
but if they have rabies, then...
It doesn't matter,
It doesn't really matter. They just go cray-cray. And
yeah,
so
it's not like winter...
They die.
Not like winter freezes the rabies, either. It'll just freeze the cats and then kill them.
Yeah, but maybe it's not just that one skunk that had rabies.
Maybe it's not.
The skunk, how did that skunk get rabies?
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh,
so
man.
that's just one of the things that are going on right now. Just watch out for rabies.
Watch out, everyone.
And then neighborhood councils, they're going to be constantly showing city council candidate forums happening, going on. And, of course, MCAT will be premiering many of our candidates sometime this week. Also, we have a couple more interviews this morning with Joel and some of the candidates, except from Ward 6. I'm calling you out.
Ward 6.
Yeah, a couple of them were just like, rah, rah, rah.
We want to interview you.
Yeah, a couple of them didn't want to.
The community has a right to know.
But that's just our little station. Yeah. But, of course, we're the ones that film them for Sire.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
If you know what Sire is, where you can watch all great videos of our city government on the City of Missoula's website, courtesy of Missoula Community Access Television.
Yes, it's great. Great service. But we have a little video for you guys to end our show. Scott.
Yeah, but I'd rather just end the show and then just hold on a couple of seconds and then show the video for later. So that way we don't have to end that way we don't have to wait for 15 minutes and then come back here and say goodbye.
No, we're not doing that. I know, we're saying goodbye now.
Yes.
I'm talking about your video.
Yeah,
So
it's just more information about
our
our Missoula, and it'll appear right after a show. It's coming up on MCAT right after Wake Up Missoula. So without further ado, I want to say thank you for joining me, Noelle. And of course, Asaph. Thanks for playing for us, and we look forward to hearing more about the Three Stooges for Three Stooges Week.
Yes.
So without further ado, for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramph.
And I'm Noelle McFoy. Here is our City Club video that we shot. Scott shot earlier.
No, Asaph, please end the show.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us.